Find the mute button. There you go, move to the TV. So hi, I'm here with my mum, reading my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace. Special day today because it's also my daughter's birthday. She's 15 today. So just telling my mum that. And she thought it was going to be tomorrow. That's how it is. So anyway, so I've got to go a little bit sooner than normal because I've got a call coming up. But we're reading my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace. It's a new approach to climate change. And we're on chapter 9. And this is called The Enemies of Trust. So we often talk about trust as something we need. And we always think about, how do you build trust? But actually, what's often the case is that trust is very easy in a sense to come. What happens is that you can lose it very easily. And that's the problem. When you lose it, then it's very hard to build again. So that's why what we need to do is think about the enemies of trust. And that's where this comes in. So Mum's still having her breakfast, so I hope you don't mind Mum eating while we do this, because I'm a little early and I got to get on with my thing. So my apologies to Mum. So the enemies of trust. So Thrive contracts can give people choice. This is great power. However, trust is necessary or it won't happen. When that trust is present, this can create a roadmap for oil and gas and coal that everyone can shape. This opens up opportunities for social capital to be built. Social capital is a fundamental aspect of an emergent economy. The economy works because each participant in it trusts that their interests will be looked after by others, and in turn, they look after other people's interests. Hi. This works if it is recognized that it is impossible to thrive alone. This differs from an extractive economy where top-down governance is necessary. Are you?
You finished with the cup?
Have you finished?
Not yet.
Sorry, I'm rushing along. There, an economy works by rules that people have to abide by. There is a police to catch those who cheat and a system to impose punishments. Trust becomes trust in the system rather than trust in each other. And in this economy, social capital has little value. In an emergent economy, the incentive is for the individuals to build social capital. And in the extractive economy, it is for them to build financial capital. Although money is used in both economies, in the former, others would come to help regardless of money. And in the latter, they come because of money. As climate change worsens, social capital will be more valuable than financial capital. This is especially true as inflation will eat into the value of money. This will weaken top-down governance because it cannot be afforded. It's also because top-down governance operates best when conditions are stable. Under a worsening climate-changing world, people, businesses, and communities will face constantly changing situations. Governance principles will be forced to keep adjusting. In the top-down framework, people will become confused if governance changes rapidly. What used to be right will become wrong, and good people will find themselves caught out. Businesses are already seeing this. The EU deforestation deregulation is being delayed. So just for people joining, I'm reading my book, Thriving at Nature's Pace with Mum. It's a new approach to climate change. And Mum is still having her breakfast, so my apologies to Mum for this. We started reading it last year. We were doing this because I'd finished the book and Mum wanted to know what it was about, so I thought the best way was to share it with her and share it with you. And I came a bit early because I need to finish a little earlier today, so that's why I'm reading it while she's still having breakfast. So I'll carry on. Businesses and governments are finding compliance to their own commitments difficult. The Indonesian president, for example, publicly contradicted the country's own commitment to deforestation. He publicly refuted that cutting down indigenous forests for palm oil is deforestation. Delays and changes in definitions hurt those businesses that have paid the cost and made the efforts to stay abreast. This creates a sense of betrayal. It erodes the effectiveness of regulations, even before they have been enacted. However, in a climate-changing world, everything will be subject to change, and it will not be possible to keep things clearly specified. In an emergent economy, this conflict is better resolved. There is no explicit top-down governance, and it is up to the participants themselves to establish the rules. These can be more rapidly adjusted, and not so fast that they create confusion. They can operate locally. Governance is diverse and multi-layered. Each participant commits themselves to what they can. Carrots and sticks are still needed. The carrots provide incentives for people, businesses, and communities to be part of the community, and sticks provide disincentives to exclude themselves. Participants are self-organized in their own trust circles. These all carry the value proposition of thriving at nature's pace. This is like trust, the trust of a couple within a relationship, or as members of a family. Blood is thicker than water. People commit to it because they believe it is better for them to be blood. This allows them to trust the things that keep them together and to trust each other. Equally, in such a setup, being exiled is the worst that can happen. It means having to fend alone. Honesty, authenticity, care, and other qualities are important to build this trust. However, all these qualities can be present and still trust may not form. That is because trust is not simply about the qualities that help to establish it. It is equally about the things that can erode it. These are the enemies of trust. They matter because once trust is lost, it is very hard, if not impossible, to re-establish. Robert N. Galford and Anne Siebel Druppel discusses the enemy of trust in the Harvard Business Review article, following is adapted from their work to Thrive Contracts. 3 types of trust. The levels of trust between climate movement and oil, gas, and coal companies is at a low. The degree to which people in modern society trust the modern economy to provide for them is probably not much higher. Recent OECD surveys show that no trust characterizes people's trust in their governments. Other surveys suggest that trust in global businesses is not much better. At a time when the lack of trust is prevalent, society needs trust more than ever to face the multitude of challenges. Trust in society is an outcome of social capital. The simplest way to think of social capital is that a person trips, someone will be there to help. The essence of trust is that this help comes without asking, and the stronger the social capital, the less it matters who comes to help. Hi, Katie.
Hey.
So I'm just reading my book with Mum. And Katie's here, she helps my mum, gets her ready, make sure everything is available.
Is that for the shopping?
Yeah. An example is an experience of forgetting a newly purchased and expensive item on the Tokyo Underground. In New York or London, the item will be gone, finders keepers. In Tokyo, it is returned without requiring any reward. In the right setting, trust is an inherent quality of the social order. There are 3 types of trust. The first is strategic trust. In the context of Thrive Contracts, this is trust that the promise of contracts. The second type of trust is organizational trust. This is trust that operationally Thrive Contracts will work. Third type of trust is personal trust. This is trust that people, businesses, and communities are genuinely and personally going to benefit. Each of these 3 types of trust has a role to play in ensuring that the whole mechanism works. They provide the basis on which new economics can emerge and deliver. The actions to make that happen require the ability for anyone to participate. This makes personal trust particularly important. It reassures the people, businesses, and communities that they will receive benefits. So we're going to pause there. How about that? Sorry a bit of a rush, Mum. And yes, it's today Marlene's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday to her. Okay, thank you, everybody. Any questions, any
Thank
thoughts? Any thoughts, Mum?
No,
Not today. Okay.